It's new project time. This time we're working on the doors. Last time we did the dash pods, which, I mean, they turned out alright, but I already got some plans to redo those. So what we're going to do is I'm going to tape off pretty much the entire doors and then lay down some resin, and when that dries I'm going to cut it out following these body lines, or this single body line right here. So this whole piece right here will be a mold, and then I'll build a skeleton for the speaker to come out like that. We'll wrap it in fleece and hopefully it'll turn out pretty cool. And what I'm going to do so I don't mess up the door is use all these holes and probably put like 4 bolts through and bolt it in on the back, and maybe put a bolt through here, so it's going to be held on with bolts, so I'm not going to be screwing into the door or messing anything up. So eventually when I get rid of the truck it will be stock again, so that'll be good. So we'll take the resin.
Alright, so now
we'll
we got
start
the resin
masking this
laid
off.
down.
The first coat was
And
just
hopefully we'll do a good job on
straight resin, and then the second coat I'll put down the mat in the resin, so it should hold a good enough mold. But what we're going to do now is I'm going to start over on the ends here. It's taped over. See if I can do these with one hand. And basically what I'm going to try and do is just like work my hand underneath and pop the tape up, and hopefully get this whole thing off in one piece. And then I'll flip it over and try and get all the tape off that I can. So I'll hopefully just be left with fiberglass, and then I'll trim up all the edges so it'll look nice. You guys see what I'm going for. Kind of lucked out because all I used was painter's tape, and thank God it didn't stick to the fiberglass. I didn't use any mold release or anything because I didn't have any on it. I didn't really know I was supposed to use it. But this one's coming off in a whole sheet. The other one I had to peel off bit by bit, and then you got little pieces of it that stick, and it's just a pain in the butt. This one's coming off real nice. And as I say that, it starts to stick. Alright, now it's time. I'll put it back on the door. I'll trace out the line around the edge where I need the trim. I have a little trouble here, it got thin and cracked, so I might have to do a little repair work. And I'll do all that with the Dremel, with a cutoff wheel and then a sanding disc. And then I'll come back in and trim up the side. Both molds for the doors are done. They're identical, but opposites for each door. So that's the end of this phase. And what I'm going to do next is cut out some speaker rings. I'm running the same speakers, but instead of being behind the door, behind the grill on the actual door, now they're just going to be out and shown and look real nice. So I've got 6 by 9s up front and a pair of 6 1/2s in the rear. I'll do the rears once I'm done with the fronts. So the next step will be to build a skeleton to hold those, and all I have to do before that is I got to do a little repair work on this one because up in the corner it didn't come out right. So I'm just going to lay down a little bit of tape over this area and just fill it in with some fiberglass and call that one good. So a couple of days I'll get those skeletons going and you guys will see them then.